Good evening. Yesterday, last night, after the question, the answer, and so I forgot one. Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche, Khunu Tenzin, great Bodhisattva who gave elaborate commentary of Bodhicharyavatara to his own Lama in Bodh Gaya. Well, Rinpoche went when young time to Tibet, and under very learned many teachers, they learned the Buddhist philosophy and so much, and the Tibetan grammar, poetry, many things. Became expert, and when he came to Lhasa, he was asked to teach, I think, poems and the Tibetan, you see, the grammars or the poems or things, so he taught in Lhasa, in medical center for some years, and so that, and so Rinpoche lived in Varanasi with the sadhus a long time. With the sadhus a long time. So at Varanasi, the sadhus some help served Rinpoche or something like that. So Rinpoche, when his sons came to Bodh Gaya, the Gyalpo monastery, was built much before even Tibet. Before Tibet was over. Tibet was, by the common China. Before that, it was, the monastery was built, I think, a long time ago. And so, Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche came there in sadhu manner, custom. So they asked a place to sleep in the room. But the caretaker of the monastery didn't recognize and didn't rent room. And then finally he asked whether he can sleep outside of the monastery, on the terrace, not upstairs, but downstairs on the cement floor. On the cement floor, downstairs, see. I don't know. Downstairs, the first floor, the cement floor, not in the room, outside. So so that was allowed. Then we slept outside without room, that's on the floor, and then at that time, then I think his owners found out. Then his owners requested to give the Bodhicharyavatara commentary, and his owners, so Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche offered the extensive commentary of the Bodhicharyavatara to his owners. So often his one says, so one day his one asked Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche what to do to get the Tibetan independence. So Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche advised that to pray to generate bodhicitta in Mao Zedong's mind, to generate bodhicitta. That time Mao Zedong is living, so to generate bodhicitta in the mind of the Mao Zedong, the prime minister of China. So like that's what Rinpoche answered. Kyabje Khunu Lama answered to His Holiness Dalai Lama. Then of course, without taking much time, since His own teachings from him, and I think His own Dalai Lama's gurus, maybe not teaching, but maybe or something. I don't know, poem or the grammar or something. Learned from him, something like that. So then very soon became very famous. Then upstairs, usually the outside people, the guest houses outside, not in the monastery, but outside there's a guest house downstairs there. Maybe, I don't know, 10 rooms, or I'm not sure, or something. So just outside, guest house. So Rinpoche was given one of the rooms upstairs. So then sooner or later, there's a people singing Rinpoche from there, going down the 3 steps, all the way lined up from upstairs, all lined up. And then goes the people waiting even on the steps, going up. So they're like that. Sorry. Yeah, so like that. Which is unbelievable. So expert in the Buddhism and Sanskrit and the other knowledge field. One I was boxer, studying while most time playing. I was, that's my way of studying. So anyway, so His Holiness formed the abbots, very learned, very famous, very learned from Tibet. Those abbots of the monasteries, 6 monasteries, and then maybe perhaps from others, I'm not sure. So even there was Kyabje Khunu, but their past lives, so expert, like the ancient Narendra Pandits, like that, so expert. They were all there for teacher training, Masuri. So then Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche was invited there to give teachings, explanation to the abbots of the monasteries. They are from Tibet, not abbots from India, but from Tibet. Oh, they're very knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. Kyabje Khunu Rinpoche especially. So Khunu Lama Rinpoche was giving teaching to them. So like that. Anyway, so Rinpoche we received a Bodhicharyavatara commentary from Rinpoche at Bodh upstairs, there's a room for Kanjur, where they keep the Kanjur, the Buddha's teachings of more than 100 volumes. So Kanjur, there it was during the teaching, during the teaching, Kyabje Rinpoche or his Honor's Dharma's gurus, then or Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche, we many of the incarnate lamas came from Baksa, came from different places. Most people are Baksa, so we stayed together there. That was a monastery, because have shelter, a place to keep. So Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche teaching was done in the same house, but I was not staying there. So anyway, so Rinpoche's way of teaching is like this. So learned, so, not only Lama Tsonga was teaching, but as well as Nyingma, Kakyu, Sajja. So when you teach, because they have different learned, different learned, different learned from different sects. So Rinpoche teaches the Gelugpa like this, Nyingma like this, Sajja like this. Okay. So when he teaches like that. All the different views are different way of advice for the different, liberated, different way. So he teaches like that. So everybody gets answer, advice according to their sect. Also like that. That's very wise, very learned, extremely like that. So Rinpoche do that, teach like that. Similar, also his one is Dalai teach was like that. His one to also teach, introduce what I call the fourth sector. So that, so that. I requested in Bodhicharyavatara commentary just for myself, for my ego, for my subjective thoughts, for my subjective thoughts, for my ego. So yeah, Rinpoche didn't give commentary because that's for me, so it would take much time, so Rinpoche didn't do. Of course, I did receive from Rinpoche with the other lamas, then it was after that, so Rinpoche didn't give. But then you see, Rinpoche gave a commentary from the wisdom chapter. Rinpoche, from his side, gave a commentary from wisdom chapter, the emptiness. So then, as soon as Rinpoche started commentary from the wisdom chapter, then I started to fall asleep. Huge obstacle. Just from my side. So as soon as Rinpoche started commentary on the wisdom chapter, then I started to fall asleep. So I have a great obscuration to realize the emptiness, to understand the teachings of emptiness. Great obscuration. I'm at, President Trump wanted to build a big wall. How many story wall? He wanted to build a big wall between Mexico and America. Big wall, huge wall. So I think like that, I'm at the wall to understand teachings on emptiness. So I don't think the wall becomes smaller. No, I don't think so. maybe become bigger, even bigger now. Then during the postman came, he banged the door quite some time. While Rinpoche was given the room, also the mission Bodhicharyavatara. Yeah, so then Rinpoche advised that I should translate Bodhicharyavatara into English. But he said, that time, there's only one text from Sikkim. Jigme, he made a Tibetan dictionary. The first one, Tibetan. The paper is so bad. The paper, if you curve, if you fall, then it breaks. Paper can. If you curve, like this, if you curve, breaks. So bad paper. That's the only what exists at that time. I think. So he translated one Bodhicharyavatara. That's only one book exists. So Rinpoche said, even others translated, but you translate. But before you translate, you must learn well. I think probably is not maybe not the translation meant, but maybe Rinpoche was meant to learn Bodhicharyavatara as man. Probably that might be the main thing. So Rinpoche said you have to learn both English and dharma, the subject in the Tibetan, you see, dharma. So you have to learn both before you translate. You have to learn well. Rinpoche said that. So so sorry. So far I didn't get done. But I think, I don't know how many there are. Now there are several, I think. There are several. One translation group, Pema something, translation group, Nyingma, they translated. And Alan Wallace translated one. And then Alan Wallace, and then the other one, he was a monk. One who wrote book, there is no karma. One who wrote the book, there is no karma. He was a monk before. I was Geshe-Rabdan's disciple. I lived in Switzerland, the monastery for many years with Alan Wallace the same. But Alan Wallace, after some started, I don't know, Madhyamika, then he just left, after his own camp, he left, even not much mentioned Geshe-Rabdan. I think he went to Dharamsala to meditate, Shine. That. Something like that. Then I don't remember the monk's name. He's living in London, the monk. Not the monk now, before. Huh? Stephen Bassa.
Stephen Batchelor. Right?
Stephen Batchelor. Sorry. He wrote a book saying there's no karma. Do you know? Yes. They started quite big for many years. There are quite a number of monks. It's very interesting. Every monk has They benefit all the Swiss people that benefit the monastery and the monks. Geshe Rebten found sponsor. So the monks don't have to pay much. They, I think, maybe $5 or $5 or something, very little. But you see, Italian monks, there were some Italian monks, they get their own food. They make their own food in the same kitchen, but Italian monks make their own food. I heard. But in Nalanda, each month, the monks have to pay $100 each month, $100. But you see, the thing is very interesting. The monks there, Switzerland, Geshe Rebten's monastery, Tabachuling, somehow didn't last a long time. All those monks left and disrupted. Only this one monk from not Austria, but Austria, who served Geshe Rebten for many years. He was monk for a long, long time. Now I don't know, but before he was monk for a long time. Now I don't know whether he's monk or not. But it was all disrupted. But in Nalanda, you see, you have to pay $100 a month. But you see, of course, more expensive. But then monks, they last longer. It's very interesting. You see, there, Tabachuling, the food is very. I mean, there's Geshe Rebten found all people, all the Swiss people sponsor and all that. But I think the main thing. If you know, the main thing is that you see. It's a liberal endeavor realm. So much luxury, so good the conditions, and they also receive teaching, explanation of philosophy from Geshe Rebten, considered which translate, you see. So you see what happens is not run out of merit. Merit, good karma, you run out of. You like to run out of money from your purse. It's about shopping, you run out of your money. Shopping or playing, whatever. So it's like that. So you see, you so much enjoy the good karma result, then like that, then so you run out of good karma merit to collect from past. So you run out of that, like you run out of money. So you have no money to live on. So similar, you run out of good karma. You see, so much, the outside conditions, so much, you see. So therefore, you run out of good karma. So then also maybe the monk do not last long time, you see, even though they know some dharma, philosophy, study. So monk do not last. But in Nalanda, where the monks here came from, they last a long time. Of course, there are monks who get destroyed gradually, but the monks last a long time. Some monks who, since they ordained, still monk. So there are many. Yeah, Nalanda is like this. So it's very, conditions are more difficult. But you see, the monks last longer. So why? You have to understand why. So that's very interesting for us to learn. So anyway, I want to say something. Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche. The reason I brought it is because I have to say something. Rinpoche, what Rinpoche advised. So for some people, Rinpoche, when the people come to see blessing, Rinpoche advises them to recite Lama Tomba Chumdanda, the Bodhicharyavatara, Chumdanda, Panjawa Sheka Toala Chazolo, most people like that. Then Rinpoche, Rinpoche gave the Bodhicharyavatara near the stupa where Buddha, short enlightened, you see. In the early morning of the fourth Tibetan fourth month, the 15th early morning. So on the day before that, in evening time, then maras, 10 maras of 10 million maras, they started attack Buddha, are not allowing to become enlightened. Not allowing to become enlightened. So they don't want him to be enlightened because then kind of bigotry or everything. So then they can't do anything, can't harm. So there. So they don't want him to be enlightened. So, tried to attack Buddha while he was in meditation. So, the simplest. Though where the stupa is, inside that very precious that is that Buddha. But before, originally there was a Buddha statue inside. So that I think made by Kyabje Khunu, the artist Kyabje Khunu, the kind of a very special holy artist, Kyabje Khunu. So that statue, you see, nighttime there's no light. In the room there's no light, but the statue has a light from its own side in nighttime. So that the unimaginable statue. So then this that was destroyed. I think then it was such a long time ago. So, I think it's when I said 2,700 years or something like that ago. So since I think since Buddha has show aspect of passing away through the state and. So the so the not inside, outside, backside the stupa. You hear the front side, then go around here. So here there's a throne and I think maybe a statue. I don't remember. There's a throne. So that one, that's the place. So where Buddha sat and so whatever the 10 million maras, whatever the all kinds of weapons, so thundering and the total black and the fog and all sorts of, but all the bullets, whatever, it doesn't harm the Buddha. When it goes near Buddha's holy mind, holy body, then they all become flower to Buddha, so like that. So without any movement of the holy body, then the holy mind, just in loving kindness, just still stand still in the loving kindness, And then subdued all the Maras. 10 million Maras are subdued. So like that. So that's why in the preparation later on there, the string which are 3 knots is going to give in so that time so that there is a story related to that. So the greatest protection is the loving kindness. So the meaning of mantra is to be protected by that you protected by the material Buddha's loving kindness. That's one way to think. There's a main thing to loving kindness. So Rinpoche, so for some people, then Rinpoche tells you should recite Chomden de Tijin Shaba Dachomba Yantaba Zoe Sanje Rinchen Tukdur Jana Chazor. So Rinchen Tukdur Jana Chazor. On that one, then you, if you hear that, never get reborn Lord in. That one I forgot yesterday to tell, to suggest him. Sorry, I don't know his name. Mama, the ignorant in your name. So, so some people he advised like that. So Rinpoche advised. So, and it is said in the Kanjura. So that's one particular Buddha that if you hear that, if you recite it, if you hear that, you never get reborn lords. So that's the first thing to recite. If you're going to see somebody who is dying, Western people, they recite, even they can't hear by themselves, no noise, no sound, no like that. You must recite loudly that people can hear. The person who is dying can hear. Animals can hear. You have to recite like that. Not just you have to not like that. So in the ear, if possible, it's difficult. In the ear, then recite. That. Well, first thing to that. Then you can recite those other mantras, which I mentioned yesterday. So you are told organize all the different mantras. Not all, there are many, but basic mantras which I suggest to recite. For animals, whatever, big or small, but animals, people, then you are sub. Why you are sub? Because you can die any time. Anybody here, such as Namjalma, Mitiya Buddha, then Tabachemedo, last time mantra I gave you, if you hear, never get reborn Lord, your life always goes towards enlightenment. Not only stop the birth in the Lord, not only that, your life goes to enlightenment. If you hear one time that, goes towards enlightenment. You have to know that. You have to keep that in mind, in the heart. Or maybe not in the heart. Keep it in the brain. Keep it in the brain here. Not in the heart. The brain, the machine, you know. So anyway, yeah, so because, yes, why you recite? That you think I'm not dying. No, the dying wasn't the main thing. I mean, you see, why you recite? The basic reason, you can die any time. So then, Then for eons, you may not hear even the human voice. If you're born as worms, all kinds, into the ground, in the, so that you don't hear even human voice. For many eons you can't hear. You see? Oh, if you can sign, for sure I won't realize that it's okay. If you can sign. But very difficult. For something like me, it's very difficult. Can't sign. So besides Dharma, besides meeting Dharma, no way. Perfect, receive perfect human rebirth, meet Dharma, no way. Especially meet the Mahayana teaching, no way. Especially meet Mahayana Vajrayana, Mahayana Sutra, and Mahayana Vajrayana, Mahayana Tantra, no way. It's more difficult. You need more and more merit. Unbelievable merit. Even to hear the name Bodhicharyavatara, you need so much merit. So that all the Buddhists in the world does not mean then they hear name Bodhicharyavatara. No, then there's so many number who are Buddhists but never hear name Bodhicharyavatara. You understand? Do you understand? Then you can realize now how you are so fortunate, even to be able to hear Bodhicharyavatara, leave it aside about how to meditate, knowing how to meditate, leave that side. Even just to hear the name. So now you can realize you are so fortunate, unbelievable fortunate, this life. So that. Yeah, and karta. So first recite this. So you must recite loudly, they can hear. Not that. Not that. You can't hear even by yourself. Not that. Not that way. It's like you're a criminal. Like as if you're a criminal, you're doing something you're supposed not to do. Very quiet. Like that. So, yeah. So then, so in the English, everything, the Holy I told that to set it up, also explain the benefits. The mantras or the different mantras. So I gave the Lunge last night, also night before. So those there are more, but I think that's basically what I suggest to recite. More like that. There's in the Golden Light Sutra, there's one chapter, not beginning, near the end, chapter, I don't remember the full story, but 10,000 fish. They don't have water, so they are dying. So recited by, I think, I don't know, I forgot. Yeah, the one who recited. I don't know what the Buddha's way back, past life. I'm sure. Anyway, so recited his name. So yeah. Then I think they were born in Deva realm. I think they were born in Deva realm. There was a story that there's something like that. So all the fish, they were born in high realm, Deva realm, by hearing that. So like that happened. One time, in Singapore, I went to the ocean and, I think it's blessed water and then recited Chenrezig long mantra and then other. So I went to the beach to pour the water, something like that. So I don't know whether that story related to me. I can't say 100%. But after I left, so many fish dead. That news I heard. But you see, of course, general people think there's something wrong with the water. Something wrong with the water. Is there some pollution or something? General people would think like that. Something harm to them. But in my view, not necessarily bad. Not necessarily bad. They're in the lower realm. So, you see, they could be positive. They could be born in higher realm. You see, like that. Not necessarily bad. But common people in the world who don't know dharma, they think it's bad because of water, something wrong with the water and the harm to them. But not necessarily bad. So I did. I don't know whether that relates to me or not. That 100% I can't say. But then in Chopama, where Pema Sambhava was, Pema Sambhava gave one king's daughter, I think. King's daughter, I think. Mandarawa. So she really wanted to practice Dharma, don't want to go. Many kings, I think she has a very beautiful body. So many kings' sons, many kings want to marry her. So many asked, but she, Pema Sambhava was on the mountain, and I don't know. So anyway, she could receive initiation from Pema Sambhava on the mountain. Then the king find out, the father find out, and then the king wanted to bring down Pema Sambhava and burn in the fire. So the wood is a very strong fire, so very hot fire. So sandalwood, big pile up. Then Pema Sambhava was caught inside and put inside. Then they burn. Then 1 week ago, 1 week they burned, filled the whole sky with smoke. But you see, when people noticed, Pema Sambhava was not burned by fire. So, someday I don't know the whole clear story, but totally changed the manifestation. But something I don't know. But born from the lotus and something. So the king came, then the king respected it. King, I think, apologized for that. Confess, and then with the procession, then invoke bring the Pema Sambhava from the fireplace, then up. So with much procession. So that the Sopama. So there I cut Zamba one time with the Zamba. Make a small dope with blessed samba, with water and all that. I think also with the puffed rice or something. So samba, we met when then they throw on the leg. The leg happened after that. So when the Pema Sambhava king tried to burn in the fire, so there was no leg. So since that happened, then what happened? And the water leg happened after that. So it's very precious water. So So then after I left, then I heard a lot of fish dead. After I left, I can see a lot of fish dead. But then when I went. After that, in Sopama was to receive room teachings. So the Kyabje Monastery, monastery from the abbot, incredible knowledgeable compassion. So rare teachings, commentary of the Vinaya, and rare teachings in the Gyalpo are also there here. The lungs of the great yogis, many different great yogis, their life stories, Milareva's life story, the common one and uncommon one, written by Karmapa, third Karmapa or fourth Karmapa or something. Anyway, so I did that, and I tried to, to liberate. Well, the mantra has benefits. That liberate the animals from the lower realm and the higher realm. And hopefully to meet dharma and all that. So go to enlightenment, the main thing is to go to achieve enlightenment, to be free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. So I think a lot of fish dead. I heard one Tibetan lady whose hotel I stayed. She said, some impurity from the mountain, some stuff, I don't know, impurity come down, with so much rain, come down, it went to the water, so that's why many fish died. But then the fish, so many 100 years, the lake has been there so many 100 years, and only now there's much rain, only now much rain. People no rain at all, kind of that, sound like that. You see, it's very strange. So only much rain, then bad, I don't know, some impurity came down from the mountain. There was a strange story. So it's like never rained before. Over 1,000 years. 100 years, it's a little bit strange. So anyway, I can't say what is related to my mantra or not. That story happened. If you don't think dharma, if you don't think dharma, then so just with the attachment, you see, of this life, then you see, you're a puppy, you understand as puppy forever, you see. But of course you can't be human being forever, but you want your puppy to be a puppy forever, not become Buddha. Your puppy to not become Buddha. to not become Buddha, Bodhisattva, just be puppy forever, so that you can enjoy. But you cannot be human being forever. Very strange. That's very strange. Yeah, that idea. You see, if you don't think Dharma, then just your normal minded attachment. Very funny. So that is, Just to understand, just finish this. Sorry, it took a long time. You see, the Kasure, he was Unze for quite a number of years. He recited Lama Chaba during the long life puja to his own Buddha. He went very slow, the Lamdren part, Shinto, Tamba, very slow. And very soon is, of course, very busy. But he didn't say anything because they want to create an inner speech or something. So, anyway, he's to the Pende. He's, I think, mentioned his story, Esther, Depo Esther or something. So his father, mother, they were in the house, in the room. They were standing. You see, what are they standing? And then talking, standing, father and mother. And father he turned his head like this, and the mother dead. Suddenly, father's face turned back, then mother dead, suddenly died. There is no any kind of heavy sickness or something, screaming, nothing. They were just talking. And then, when he turned his head like this, then mother died. So son died. All like that. You see, that like that happens. Also, so many people in the world dying just like that. While you're walking, suddenly die. I heard in America, maybe it's true, I'm not sure. One lady talked coming, then suddenly died in the road. Then recently, she's I think a chairperson in India with the centers. She's a little bit black looking color, so a little bit fat. What's her name? Huh? D. Her name is D. Very simple name. D. maybe the Madhushi's man does D. And so just recently, just only a few weeks ago, recently, her mother came to see her. Not kind of great pain, nothing soon. Her mother came to see her. While mother was in front of her, the son she died. All like that. This isn't just recently, 2 weeks ago, when I was in Nepal. Yeah, I met her in India. Also, I came from, one Dhamsal, one was Mudgaya. I met her. So, this happened. Mother came to see her. While she's in front of her, she died. So are the reasons we never know. So many sanghas, nuns. I think, the monks different time died. Recent years, so many dead, and also many of your friends and so many died even by cancer. So therefore, you also need to recite. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why I give the reason. To not be reborn, lower realms. And to receive higher rebirth, perfectly rebirth, to meet dharma, or they do go to enlightenment gradually. To be free from samsara, so we learn more dharma, more practice, more realization, then go free from samsara, then go to achieve enlightenment. Okay? So like that. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay. So again, the gator has to wait a long time. Same as yesterday. With a lot of patience. Yeah, okay. Sorry. You see, puppies, cats, dogs, horses, cows, whatever, animal that we have, and together, living together, or that look after. You see, mostly, can't say everyone, but mostly it's an incarnation of our recent parents or brother, sister, wife, husband who died, recent lives, recent past lives. So we don't have clairvoyance, so you don't know. We don't have neither omniscience nor ordinary clairvoyance, so we don't know. But it seems a connection. There's always a reason. What bad thing happen? There's always a reason why it's happening. There's a good thing happen. Why it's happening? There's always a reason. There's always a logical reason. You can see. If you have omniscience, if you have, of course, no question, but if you have clairvoyance, then you can see that all the past, all the reasons, all the causes. This happened. Why do you meet this? This horse, or this dog, or this whatever it's. You see that you're keeping, that you're together. So that's because past such a life. Oh, that was your husband, your wife, your children, or your father, mother, the enemy, all like that. There's Nagarjuna's word, I don't remember. Nagarjuna's word, quotation, but I don't remember. Sorry, my mind's so poor, so so bad to memory. So example like this, because the gentleman asked question the other days, yesterday, so that's why I bring up. That was because that, led to that. So Sharipu Buddha's disciple are arhat, who are excellent in the wisdom. Mengal Jipu is arhat. Guru Chaitanya is a disciple arhat, excellent in psychic power. The Sheripu is excellent as wisdom. So Sheripu was going for alms in India. So one day were there. So one going for alms. So because during Buddha's time, of course, that you see how the monks, should how to live their lives like that. So you see they go for alms. Even Buddha goes for alms. So like that. So therefore, you don't need to keep much. You don't need to keep much material. Collect food and materials. You see, you don't need. So you go by arm. So practice satisfaction, practice contentment. So renunciation. So Cheripu went to for arm. So one family, he looked from outside to draw, to totally change whole family. So the son, the mother, the mother died with the attachment to home. So she was born as a dog, that family. Dog in that family. So, and you see, waiting to be given the bone that the son is eating, fish, his son was eating fish, which they catch behind the swimming pool, pond, and they catch the fish from there. So he was eating the fish. I was so expecting maybe to give him the meat or bone outside. To the dog. Dog's waiting there, you see, the mother. So the fish was the father. Father used to eat fish by catching from the water, pond from backside the house. So father was born as a fish. So that fish the son was eating was the father's meat, He was eating. And then he was carrying a child in the lap. There was his enemy was attached to his wife. So born to the wife. And then as a born to wife, and then he was carrying the child in his lap. There was his partner. That was his enemy. So completely upset, completely, sort of mess, but life. If you relate to past life, this life, then also you think of future life, wow, everything will change. So Saripur said, Pasha Sachin Malato, Jive Dawa Pangtukul. Koechola Gemutros. Pasha Sachin, eating father's flesh. Malato was beating the mother because he was carrying a stick to beat the dog. Was the mother, you see? His mother was born. Pasha Sachin Malato, beating the mother. The stick. The enemy born to him carrying on his lap. Samsara existence I love. So all the changes then, samsara existence I love. That. There was a candy. Here I have to speak, so I put nose. Nose doesn't speak. So anyway, like that. You see, that is not just story, leave it there. No, that's to relate to us. Relate to us. Now, this life, the animal that we have, the house we are living, horse, whatever. You see? Oh, that was exactly the same. Oh, so one way to say, we need to take care. We need to take care really good. We need to take care really good. Otherwise, then we better treat well. Or then for 500 lives, there's nothing but thousands, millions, they suffer, torture, some suffer. Well, not in the Lord realm, but even human realm, then you suffer. But also thousands, millions, one on life. So much suffer. We don't treat well these animals that we're keeping. So I have dogs in the early times. Nepal. So it's up to the cook whether to give food or not. Up to the cook. You see, we have one very young monk. His name is Tudemulam. So it's up to him whether he give food or not. So I didn't really pay much attention. So I did one retreat, Damsal Tushita, and what thought came into my mind was the dogs that I had before and didn't take care well. I thought came in mind. So then, like that. There's one Lama, Kyabje Rinpoche, in South India. Kyabje Rinpoche is very pure. It's an old, very old Lama. But you can see very pure. Great. Kyabje Khunu Rinpoche don't praise much other Lamas. But you see, this Lama he prays. Kyabje Rinpoche, Sarame. He prays this because he says it's the incarnation of Gautama Geshe Podawa. So which really held respect. So pure. So he see in his room corners there are spiders. They made their website. Spiders made their website. The corners in the room, So the attendant, Chandra, wanted to clean this, but Rinpoche didn't want to bother to the spider. Rinpoche didn't want to bother, destroy the spider, destroy the website. So like that. It was so many years ago. So I wanted to get all transmission, make connection, all transmission of the 8 verses, thought transmission. But you see that time Sarah Che doesn't have you see, or even from Tibet, original things. Only the Sarah Che, Jidinchi Yanzhen, the author of the scripture, the debate, all the 5 major Sutta texts of the debate. You see, each college has an author, special author or write books, write debate, Buddhist philosophy debate, you see. So, only that text and the wood blocks of that, and nothing else. So that's how all time just seems maybe like that. So nowadays, of course, I think now you have all from the 4th sector. I mean, even probably outside, not as Buddhism, even science, many. Now it's different. So before that, so you don't have other texts. So could not get bigger size text, because it's better to see third aspect, to see the small. I have a small letter. I have text, but it was very small letter. So aspect and not seeing. So need big. So I didn't get. So I didn't get the room of the adverses from Rinpoche. Because the Tantra text, you see, there it says, definitely after not only human beings, even animals, after they died, you see, the slow death, I mean natural death, you see, slow death, not a car accident or something in a car accident, not that, slow natural death. So you see, consciousness stays for 3 days. Definitely stays, they mentioned, definitely stays 3 days after breath stopped. You have to know that. So that's why yesterday I was talking about Holy kept the dog, because it looks like sleeping. So he died with the virtue thought, the sign, kind of peaceful outside. So then after 3 days, she kept, then the Bodhicharyavatara came out from the sign. That means the consciousness left. Only that time, then the consciousness from the heart. There's a central channel, then the heart means, not this heart, what, not this pumping heart, but the heart here, where you get angry, where you write compassion, not from brain, but from heart. You say angry, compassion, you see, from here, not from the brain, you see. So the center channel, so in the heart, you see, there's an indestructible seed. Down part red and the upper part white, the size of bean, you see. So that opened up the consciousness was there, the subtle consciousness. So the mind is gross, subtle, and extremely subtle. Buddha is gross, subtle, extremely subtle. So the cell, so that interstitial seed is opened. So the conscience is it. The minute it opened, the minute it left from that, it's intimate state. Even though it's in your body, but still, since it's left, it's the intimate state, more in the intimate state. So you have done that. So so that time when the Bodhicharyavatara seed came, either down there or here, then your mind left the body. So you have to know that. None is always here, coming here. For some come here, for mostly it's from the organ, female or male from organ. They comes. So you see, so they are meditators. Meditators, then you see, what meditation over death time meditating. So whether meditation is over or not, of course, meditators, I mean, those who have high realization, just by checking they can see whether it's meditation over or not. The person who is meditating at the death time. Death time, subtle mind is there, very subtle mind is there, abiding in the time they're meditating. So, for example, my guru, Gen Chamba, after he passed away, in the aspect, so I think after 3 days or something, well, Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche was also my guru. I think so many here may have received, all students may have received teaching initiations, special Kalachara. So Rinpoche came with the incense. Rinpoche was very close. They're the same meditator. You know, the Gencham want to play. Usually they when they meet, they play, they joke each other. So Rinpoche came with the body, the holy body, to bring a Tuishita from Geshe Rabdan's house. Then backside of Ling Rinpoche, so past life. Then Tuishita, one meditator, one old monk meditator, he did the whole thing just like ordinary person. He treated like ordinary person. So then Rinpoche came with the incense. Then you look at the face, then it says meditation over. He knew it. Immediately you can, but we can't tell. He immediately know that meditation is over. So like that. But the us, we check. Lama Juba, attendant of his own living with past life. So he put a hand down below. He put a hand and touch the holy secret prayer. Let's touch. So then Bodhicharyavatara came out, seed came out. So meditation is over. Meditation is over. Bodhicharyavatara can stay as many days. 7 days, or 18 days, or 12 days, 20 days, or many. So one Gadadhiva was meditation for many days. He passed away. There's I think two Gadadhivas before. Present Gadadhiva, and then one before. Restored the one before that one. So very learned, extremely learned. It's a maximum to think Lama Tsongkhapa kind of, I don't have much connection, but very great, how do they, holy being. So he passed away in meditation for a long time. So that. So you have to know that. So in the hospital, definition of death is just only the external things, breath stopped and nerves not moving. That, and I heard sometimes come back. I heard after breath stopped, things not moving. But then after some time, I was told by the doctor. Australian doctor, a student doctor, a monk, what's his name? doctor, Adrian told me. Everything stopped, but then after somebody wake up. Yeah. So what the hospital says not true. So I can't do that. So I think there's a lot of there's not everybody, but many mistakes. Other is beyond from the explanation of what hospital says. So there's some people, few people that has doesn't follow the hospital definition. So that means hospital have to learn what means death. So that's a big question. Big question. Then because mind, there's a mind before this life. There's a continuation of mind before this life. There's a continuation of mind after this life. So they say that to know that. So anyway, so many times. So many times. We're in the West, and also in the Kalimpong. Many times, after people are put in the box and taken to the cemetery, then the person is woken up, not dead. So woken up, conscious not left. So then they woke up before maybe no breath in the. So they scratch the box, crack, scratch the because the body was put in box. What's it called? Box? Huh? Coffee? Not coffee. Coffee. So scratch the box. It happened many times. So you see like that. Okay, now I'm going to stop. So we had 13, 14 dogs, Tushida, puppies. Lama show aspect like very much the puppies, has up, so they flat nose and puppy. So they make a lot of noise. And we have people doing retreat, group retreat, individual. So they a little bit criticize all the dogs, men not noise. So as the people, Tibetan people don't know so much mind, but as Western students, well, there is noise, then for them it's a big thing. So there's one monk from Gadan Monastery, Gadan Shet. He's a very nice monk. So he did 3-hour retreat in family house. There's all the children, all the family. But it's so difficult to find a house in Dharamsala. So he found a house, corner of the building, you see, one corner of the building. He put a curtain, round, in the curtain round. So he did 3-hour in the corner of the house. In the house, there's all the children, all the family living there, the same house. So Western people anybody can understand the retreat like that? Wow, I think they will think I'm going crazy. Yeah. They will mention I'm crazy after 1 or 2 days. So anyway, so you did 3-hour retreat like that in the corner of the house. It's bad. Then Darjeeling, there's one geshe, was a Brahmbaksa, so a small room. So you see here, you did 3-hour retreat. So 2 beds. So small room is 2 beds. So one room is that he can meet people. 1 bed. There are 2 beds, This other bed is where he can meet the people. This bed is covered with a cloth, curtain, you know. This other bed. There's a very small space between this bed. So covered with cloth. And so he does tea about you can do that. So other one, then open. Other one, then it's then he meet people there on other bed. You see, so like that. Then the dharma, he made to my dharma, over dharma on the roof. And then after some time, because well, not easy economic system. I mean the food, money, and so dharma he offer there outside on the roof. Then he eat later. He eat later like that. You see. So I mean not much sort of benefit or anything offering money or food or so. So like that, he get done the retreat, you know, he passed away long, many years ago. So anyway, like that, can you go, so get done. The thing is this, get done, retreat is finished. I mean, the monk, that monk who did the corner of the family house, passed away many years ago. He's a very, very good monk. So, kasore, kaina di, like that, so the so we do the animal liberation, up to his house, we do also the Washington, there are two monks now, so they do every week. Many fishing worms, but this box which can get from Washington, from Walmart's, and then afterwards, I don't know, yeah, so many of that, and so the monk carry in the bucket, you know, then goes around the Buddhist Buddha. With the statue made of balcony, was it balcony? Volcano from Indonesia. So it was painted and outside the gardens around. So he takes it around by holding like this. The recitement sometimes that's not the way Amitabha, but the big one from Vietnam. So we refixed, I mean, painted so wonderful by the Gaelic, and then the artist from the North Carolina came, now finish painting. So they go around. I think that happened much later. So when it goes around inside the house, the relics, we have relics and the many tattas, so we carry around. So I try to carry with a bucket and try to not much. try to carry them. So he does so much of that. And also up to his house, we were built stupa, so carry around. And then there's a book, how to liberate animals, how to purify them. See, by taking around and then bless water, then pour on them, purify the dharma to be reborn, and so in the Lord realm, and then eventually free from samsara and the eternal enlightenment. So then third one, recite mantra, those who can hear. So 3 ways to like that. You see. So the sea animals, like that, so fishing worms and those. So every week, so that then we some people have life obstacles. Then we use that, liberate animal or that for those people's life. So like that, or so this many years ago, there's always in each week that, and then the there are birds, as a bird feeding water outside. So the monk, he put money pills, Ishan Lama's money pills. So when they bless the money pill, sometimes even other monks, they multiply. All this happens. However, then they crush the money pills and they give the water, bird feeding water. So you put in that, so their mind get purified, they get blessed. And then then we put the mantra from Pema Sambhav, not Pema Sambhav's name mantra, but mantra came from Pema Sambhav, and curved on the crystal stone and put there, so they bless water, and they drink the water, purifies the negative karma, obscurations. And water was a blessed water with the mantras. Normally I do, and then also Manga told him that when he does a commitment, he blessed. He should keep bowl of water to bless, to blow. So that then at the same time, so the birds, many birds come to drink, and they wash in the their bath. They wash in the water. So good to see them enjoying. And at the same time, next to the water, there's a Diamond Kata Sutra or different sutras that I chanted, or Kyabje Khunu would chant mantras or sutras. So they enter the ground, so they hear the dharma, sound. So plant seed of enlightenment for purification, all like that. On the other side of the house, there's one side, this right side, left side, outside the house. Then there's a bird. There's a house, food for to get bird. So different birds come. They're one up, one down. So. So much before then, I try to bless the grain or this recite mantra. Then they get. Not always get done. But before I try to do that. Also there's near there. There's a teaching of the mantras played from the tape. So they can hear when they come to eat food. And then on the roof, there's a mantra written on Pema Ushin, I think it's written there on the roof, but I show the mantra and the monk wrote, touching. Each time the birds come and eat, 1,000 years come and get purified. So Nam Jalma, I put Nam Jalma letter, Nam Jalma mantra. So if they die, when they come to eat food, So they are under the protection of Jalma mantra and the Brahma. So they get purified. Unbelievable negative karma obscurates and be purified. So they die there, they don't get reborn origins. So, yeah, so as much possible, try to help us with whatever you can to sentient beings, to use your body's mind to benefit others. It's much possible. So you don't have long life. That's a wrong concept. You have short life. And this life is precious, unbelievable precious, this human life. So human life, because you can do so much, can benefit so much to others, other sentient beings. So you use your precious human life to benefit others as much as possible. As much as possible, according to level of your realization, and so of course more realization, more benefit to others, deeper. So then this monk touching, I found two nests of ants backside the house many years ago, a long time. Then I have a text how to make charity. So the samba, sugar, and the mixture there. So recite mantra, bless them. So they not only stop their hunger, but purifies the negative karma, the obscuration. So you see, bless their mind. So you sprinkle there, then it disappears. So after some days, 2 days, 3 days, or something like that. So anyway, then now the monk, not only two, but less than 100, and the nest, 60, 70, 80, but he found many, so many ants that he goes to make charity to them every week. So that was my idea. Well, it started my idea. So to make charity for the ants and the nest. So that as much as possible. Those tambas recite mantra blessed, not just giving tamba, it's not the food, that's the food, but blessed with the mantra, so purifies their mind. So that this is just in the West. We have the liberating animal goats or things in the Kapon and all the animal sanctuary and all that, to build the stupas for them and all that, mantras to put on the every day, to put on the head, sheriff made press the mantra to put on their head every day to go around to play the mantra 2 or 3 through the sessions, but I don't know. I heard they play, yes, for them. So anyway, the center, the Amitabha Buddhist Center in Singapore, they liberated animal 100 million. That's a few years ago. Now the second 100 million. I think the second one, it might be finished probably. I don't know. So it's like that, liberation. So sometimes people have cancer. I send there to dedicate that for that person, or sometimes it helps like that. So this is besides helping people. That's what all the folks' homes, the Tibetans, the different places, and helping them, giving money to provide the things what need and different places, and so I want to build because a digital home, food, give shelter and food is not the main thing. That's same as feeding animals. So I want to teach them how to think in positive dharma, so how to live the life and build you see, don't have much understanding dharma, so you needed more help from outside, prayer rules and the stupas and many things, so that they can, all day long they can go around and you see outside help, from outside holy object, the help, they need much help. So all like that. So I haven't gone up, so I haven't started that. So anyway, so if that happened, went well. But the whole point is to not be reborn when they die, to not be reborn in the lower realm, to get reborn in a higher realm, to be dharma again, to be samsara, to achieve enlightenment soon. That was the main reason. So very important. So the life is very short, as I mentioned in the example. So you see that it's so important because millionaires, billionaires, rich people, you see, when they die, normally they don't think of their death, you see. So suddenly when the death happens, and then suddenly you come to know you separated from the family, separated from all the enjoyments and poverty, house, the whole enjoyment you provided for many years. You separate suddenly from your body that you cherish the most. Then they separate from you, and that's one thing. But of course, after that, it's not easy. Then there's next life. There's no third. There's only two. There's only two. Lower realm, upper realm. So if you practice dharma, good heart as much as possible, then higher realm, you see. Then maybe there's a pure land, some pure land you can become enlightened, some not. Then thereby human body, then negative karma not purified. Then you get reborn lower realm. So in every second from the intermediate stage, and then sentient beings get reborn in the hell, number of the atoms of this world, this earth, in every second. And then how many sentient beings get reborn as a preta, like the sand grains of the ocean, it's a sand grains of the ocean, the beach of the ocean, like that unbelievable number. There's every day, every hour, every minute, second, one preta, and then in every hour, every day, every hour, every minute, second of them got born as an animal from intermediate stages, like the grass growing on the mountain, on the ground, everywhere. So like that. Unbelievable number. So that is because our mind, you see, unable to keep it in our mind. Even we met Dharma a long time ago, unable to keep our mind in Dharma, in virtue, positive, healthy, for 24 hours. So you see, mostly, even if we try to practice Dharma, it becomes just words, it becomes just outside as a show, outside because of action. So no mind does not become Dharma. So then much of time is attachment to this life and the anger, those delusions, like that. So you can see that related to our mind, then you can see that why sentient beings are so difficult to be reborn thereby human body. How many sentient beings are reborn thereby human body is Buddha said, if you scratch your hand on the ground, then how much earth you can get between nails, all like that. So little. Yeah, so okay. Now, yeah, okay, now we do. Good day. Yeah. Need break? No. minute break? No. Huh? Half minute break. Huh? 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 How long break? How long? 10 minutes.
O sa si poki yusun metro tram rira bling sinyi de gen padi sangye sindu mingte gurwari drogum namda sin la sopar so idam guru ranamanda lakam niryatayami.
So, promise to the room of this. I think when I met Kiko and director here, Madrid Center, and several people when I arrived here. So I talked about it, and I was going to room of this Chenrezig meditation. This is English, all it Holy has. So I don't know I don't know how you're going to get. Send through your iPad, or I don't know what, maybe it's, I don't know, through iPad, or I don't know what, how you're going to get even one. So I do the room of this. I received the room, asked his Holiness didn't have the all transmission, so I told him to. So recently I received from Kyabje he's on a second in America at the Mitriba, where the office, the building is there. So, what is the name of the place? Huh? Portland, yes, that's right. So I'm going to this, but probably near the end of the rush. So, including death, I have to rush. So, to to listen the room for the benefit of every sentence, okay, to achieve enlightenment. To free the numberless sentiments from ocean, samsara, to bring the enlightenment by yourself, okay? That. Tuje jimba kumte juzun kajama shuzo tomara japsu drowan tatang drowan nenge tatang nyembe sanje tansi tudnes chide chancho nyembala chije bauta banda lama tamana la kyabso chiwa yitan la jingo jala duna la kyabso sangye chundian dena la kyabso chiwa tambi chun la kyabso chiwa habeke chana la kyabso chiwa bawa kandro chiyon sangme tsoye chige chitan tamana la kyabso chiwa 제geb서 좋아하고도 손에 찌르 조금 되는 당보 잡았으면 생각 주던 저가 주나 안저버다 당에 다해진데 집에 라벤저 생각 좋아래좀 하제는 다소 가잡선지 주도가 배가 담에 된 실내야 봐도 제 배가 가서로서 랑나든도 제스모도 제 진계제 차지야 당보다저도 원이 제가 배가는 다다른 진제제 리다바베토 요솔로 밤미 우제제 정한도지 진도 제멘다와 자와다 마제는 거 뭐좀 다다스면 타만지게 진주도 소화 대바삼라 저 준제만 그 공도 가라 조선지 올라게 지금들라데 제네셀라 차돌라 제진여사 에라도만이야 바바제네스 왕다 주도도 저와야 자와서 저선라 군내다 회차돌 민도도 바마메데 셔도로마라 소방운제 예준에 바와서 나지 도마면데 바미가 저도다면가스네 니마 혼자 되바데 자 민도가 저도사면서 제바라 자바 두든 개바쳐서 바스난다이런 Senang sama tahu le cerita cerita wah cerita apa ya cerita kalau kita soal apa cerita mana wah nyampe dah tu je tungan je tu cuma ya senang lah cerita soal dah tu cerita apa. Sampai jangan tu ini rumah tu doa ya demi benda dah tu je. Tuna kelon pema kabe tu dan Chenrezig sondeni. Soal dah lama Chenrezig soal dah itu Chenrezig soal dah apa Chenrezig. 소화도 잠깐 전에서 소화도 정말 전에서 도저히 소화에 자와도 이제 탐에 거와 잠에 잠을 주지 섬에 동안님 도와라 뭐 제가 신나 맞춰서 남자 생각도 와징을로 담는 랭에 사베도 시다왕게 냐와 제주다 사다 동안님의 쓰잖아 하도 주지는 제와라쇼 오만에 뱀에용 Tomea Tune Lenga Sabetua Sene Onge Danese, Tegaman Tungan, Yesana, Shinjo, Buddha, the Javajo, Omane Bemeo, Tomea Tune Lenga Sabetua, Tembo, Turiti, the Lingo Tungan, Yes, Komochi to the Javajo, Omane Bemeo, Tomea Tune Lenga Sabetu, the Town Gaming, the Tabo, Tungan, Yes, Janamas, New Tavajo, the Javajo, Omane Bemeo. Tomea Tuneling as Sabetua, Totanga Minute, Tatu, Tongan, Yesan, Bodala, the Javajo, Omane Bemeo. Tomea Tuneling as Sabetua, and Javangela in the Lamin, Codon, Tongan, Yesan, Bodala, the Javajo, Omane Bemeo. Dania gets Javata to Chenrezig, Zaba, Tumba, Mata, Singa, to not Jawata, Sudi, to do the 파도가 잘라서 대배도 당에 되게 좋아하는 렌데로 렌게벨 되어도 저런 데마저 당 제바 되는 주제 당도 제배 제란 게 껴가만 그런 바만 가고 준비가 저당 잡고 the past life was a Geloma Parmo who was doing there's one unit text from Nagarjuna, but what we do is from Geloma Parmo, full Bhikshuni, as a Pandit, full Bhikshuni nun. Geloma Parmo. So she achieved Chenrezig, because she had a leprosy disease, and so she was advised practice Chenrezig by the Indrapati, King Indrapati. So especially where there's a Omane Pema natural appears on the rock. So there. So yeah, so she achieved Chenrezig and totally changed her body. I mean, yes. Becomes unbelievable story. So beautiful the young girl. So she was somehow lived in nearby monastery or something. Then in Kathmandu, I think I don't know, somewhere on the hill. So then people criticize she's not pure. They think that she broke her vows or something, I don't know, being in the monastery or something. So then she, what she did is she cut her, she says that's true. If that's true, what you believe, then I cut my head and they should not come back. Then she put on a spear in her head. But able to come back afterwards, so like be normal. So that that's the outer aspect. The inner aspect is the Pama Uchima. So there's a Pama aspect, holding the head on the spear. There's a Pama enlightened being. So that's the secret aspect. So we received the initiation from Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche in Kathmandu, in Kaban. So the She renewed from 20 when she was 20 years old, up to 80 years old. She did union all through the life. And she one point to request Chenrezig, and then she said this, requesting prayer. So that has great blessing. Tatara Sowa Tape, Papigo, there was a tree, Mata, and Trisha, Chin and the watching is singing, and do it in Lunga Cemetery, Guzuta, Nanda Haridon, Churim, Chebit, Gomchindo, Omane Pemo, Chidude, Tao Cosum, Mitoben, Rang, or Nimbashan. Dachen Lunang, Papigo, Tata, Ige, Tribe, Tendo, Eje, Chimbelong, Gavati, Chenrezig, Dujuaning, Dawati Diamond, Dawati, Sala, Governor, Trisha, Comte, Dudan Kajama, Tripsin, Jeb, Sung Chilo Cheno, Dedra Comte, Jeb, Sunam, and Data, and the Drogum, Medan, with the Provan, Turma, Adam, the Wachin to the Javashum. Due to the merits, having done this meditation, I myself and anyone who has a connection with me, all the sentient beings, you leave this dirty body, so as soon as you separate from this body, this dirty body, immediately get reborn in the blissful realm, Amita Pure Land. The minute you are born there, then you are able to actualize the 10 bhumis. Then you manifest and you work for sentient being in the 10 directions. Also, all transmission done. So because I don't know how you get the English. The first all transmission of this I did at nunnery, Kapan nunnery. So I suggested for them, because they're brilliant studying Buddhist philosophy, nunnery. So they first two geshe who passed the examination. First and one is number 8, and two geshes first time. Then this time there are 4, I think, who passed the examination. Dharma under that, so they're more. They're very good in study philosophy. They're very good, very high, admired by learned geshes. So like that. So I suggest them, their parents, if they know how to read 12 letter, then this very good to introduce their parents. Okay, then, you know. So Lama Tsongkhapa said, you see, the omniscient one, Dentang Zotsang Gesu Dwabala, Sama Dwaja Tada Parchente, Namba Ni, Sama Parchente, Shindu Chava Power, Inochi Nima Dava Dava Kundata. So from here to go to enlightenment, so there's two yanas, vehicles, a profound Bodhicharyavatara and Pramadayana. So the sutra, the Mayana Sutra and Mayana Tantra. Number two, there are two. Sana Pachinte Shindu Charpa in the the Mayana Tantra, then it's extraordinary, Chapra Papa. Extraordinary, extremely extraordinary. And then Mayana Sutra. It is well known. It's like sun and moon in the world. But so okay, so without need to say all the things, just I'm going to the essence. So they're like this. As I mentioned the other night, so Buddha has mentioned, Buddha has taught generally 84,000 teachings, and then comes in embodies into three: the reciprocal teaching, then Mayana Sutra, Mayana Tantra. So like that. Reciprocal teaching, then the Four Noble Truths, the basis of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths. Unbelievable importance, so important. You see, if you don't know Four Noble Truths, then you don't know what is the way to be free. You don't know you can be free from samsara. You can be free from suffering. You don't know how to do that. You see, no matter how much you don't like suffering, whatever problem you have, but you don't know how to be free from that forever. Not free for a few days, or people say, no, free forever from suffering. You don't know how to do that. So without meeting Dharma, so you see one is so ignorant. Like that. Unbelievable ignorant. So without meeting Dharma, without knowing Dharma, you see, kind, compassionate, omniscient one's teaching. So like that. So you no matter how you hate, you don't like suffering, but you don't know how to get out of that. You have no idea. The only thing is because there's no Dharma, you have no Dharma. So only what you do is to create day and night, always so busy to create the cause of suffering, to create the cause of samsara, to create the cause of suffering. So busy. It's like this. Reality like this, without knowing Dharma. Without learning Dharma, without knowing Dharma, without practicing Dharma. So busy. Then not only you're busy, but hundreds, thousands, millions of people the same creating cause of samsara. You influence them, you bring them others together to create cause of samsara. So important to learn Dharma, Four Noble Truths, the basic thing. Then you know how to be free from samsara, how to be free from suffering. Is the first yourself. You see? Then how to achieve the cessation of suffering. Then so you see like that. So important. So if you don't learn Dharma, you see, so ignorant. Mountains, skies of ignorance. Lamaja. Oh, like that. Then what you do is totally wrong. You think you're working for happiness, but you're totally working for suffering, creating all the day and night, creating all with the body, spirit, mind, creating only the cause of suffering. So like that. But you believe, for your mind, you believe you're working for happiness. But totally wrong. What you wish is happiness, but you see, you run, even somebody explains the cause of happiness, but you run away from that. You don't come to understand. You run away from that. Just like running from the course. When you come to the course, meditation course, like upon, like that, so then they run away from that. So, that's an example, I'm just giving you them. Like that is, and then don't have karma even to come to the course. Don't have karma at all even to come to the course, to even come to a place to listen to the teaching. No way. No karma at all. So difficult to come. No way to. Yeah, so that's so difficult. It's like a mountain, a rocky mountain, now iron mountain, you see, between dharma and yourself. Between dharma and the sentient being themselves. It's like that. Oh, then kaina. So important to learn dharma, as much as possible. Then you see, it makes preparation each time. You see, then sooner or later, not only understand the words, meanings, but then you're able to, from that, you're able to exercise the path, true path. And then from there, you're able to exercise the true cessation of suffering. Then you become totally free from samsara forever. Oh, not only that, then then it's the Mahayana Sutra, you see the on the basis of having renunciation to realize your own samsara, how that is totally nature of suffering, the suffering, pain, suffering, old age, sickness, death, all that rebirth. Then basically that. Then suffering and change, all that temporary samsara pleasures, all that samsara pleasures, or then not like dharma happiness, where you can continue, you can complete one each nirvana, you can achieve enlightenment. But the samsara happiness you do not have. We've been trying every single samsara happiness, nothing is new. We think it's new, but because you don't remember your past life from beginning to birth. You don't remember, so you think it's new, but it's not new. No pleasure is not new, it's old. It's too old. From beginning to birth, we have been working for that. We've experienced a number of times. And we're born in the formed realm through meditation, shine, karma abiding, and we're born in the formless realm a number of times through meditation, karma abiding as well. Nothing is new. Then again we're born back to, because we're not free. We haven't generated renunciation to the whole entire samsara, so the tip of the samsara. So the last one from formless realm, we didn't realize that nature of suffering. So, then there's an attraction in that attachment. So then the causes continues to be in samsara. Even you are free after that much, but in the Hindu, for example, in the Hindu meditation, you can do that, but not can't be totally free from the whole entire samsara. No way. We went through this number of times, but we don't remember. Still we are not free from. Still we are not free from suffering of samsara. The third one, pervasive compound suffering. So not free from that. So if you're only free, then you're free forever from suffering, pain, suffering, change, all the samsara pleasures, all that. So therefore, to learn, it's so important, the philosophy, as much you can learn. And then, as much as you learn, then what you learn, then the essence of practice. So that's so important. Okay, so now that, then by realizing your samsara nature of only suffering, then you get renunciation. God what then, then actualize the path, then you're free from your samsara. Then, on the basis of that, then you think of all sentient beings, how they are suffering. So then you develop compassion to all the sentient beings. From that, then you see you are responsible to free all the sentient beings from the oceans of samsara suffering, and bring to Buddhahood by yourself, because all the happiness past from beginners, but now future, including enlightenment, everything you receive from the kindness of every sentient being, every helping, every human being, so forth. So not only that, then you see our comfort. Protecting life, being the shelter and house and the comfortable house, and then eating food, even water. Water is so many sentient beings inside, cannot see them, many things. They had to be killed and all that. So many sentient beings. They will suffer, they will die for your dress and for your food and drinks and shelter. Some of the sentient, another sentient, they will suffer, they will die. And all the they were your mother from beginners to birth and in kind forwards, as I mentioned. Then gave him the body, especially then kindness, protect life from hundreds of danger every day. And then they bear so much hardships for you, and then gave education for like that, being mother for kindness for the beginners. So therefore now you must repay back. If you don't repay back now, if you don't repay back while you are a human being, if you don't repay back, then when? Then when? You see? That's a good question. When? Then otherwise, when? You see? Sorry, it became funny, but that's true. You see? If you don't do this life, now, when? You see? When? Oh, that's a big question. It looks like a joke, but it's really true. If you don't do now, this life, now if you don't do, when? That's a big question. That's the biggest question, yeah? Okay? So what they need is, they need to be free from suffering, to not suffer, they need to be free from samsara forever. Not only that, then free from subtle obscuration, and then they achieve enlightenment, peerless happiness. Okay, so for you to do that, then to that perfectly, then you need to achieve a state of omniscience, enlightenment. For the reason, then they're taking initiation. So, okay, now that is and only practicing Mahayana Sutra without practicing Tantra, and then you see for three countless green eons, and then you have to collect merit, wisdom, merit, virtue. Take 3 countless green eons, and then you can complete the material. Then Buddha's holy body, Rupakaya, holy man, Dhammakaya. Then you can do perfect walk for the sentient beings. Otherwise not. Even Arhata still make mistakes. They don't have abandoned the four causes of unknowing. So I don't go through that, that's okay. So like that, so it takes a long time. That means that sentient beings have to suffer for eons, a long time they will suffer. Your mother sentient beings, all like that, yeah. So therefore, now you can't understand that. See, they suffer for a long time. So therefore, now then the Buddha has taught Mana Tantra. Sorry. Then it is a 4-level Tantra: Kriya Tantra, Chaya Tantra, Anuttara Tantra. So then without, because it has a great skill, greater skill than Mahayana Sutra, the method, greater skill. So because of that, then you are able to complete the collecting merits, wisdom, merits, virtue, in one life. In one life, without need taking time 3 countless degree eons, but just in one life, you are able to complete. Because that Tantra, even the lower Tantra, K Tantra, has the greatest skill. So therefore you can achieve enlightenment in one life. Like that. That's the purpose of practice Tantra. So there's a Kriya Tantra, Chaya Tantra, Anuttara, Mahanuttara Tantra. The Mahanuttara purpose. Then not only achieve enlightenment in one life, but then achieve even that is taking sentient beings have to suffer so much. Even, for example, Kriya Tantra, you can achieve enlightenment in one life, but then you see you prolong your life for 1,000 years, like that, then you achieve enlightenment. Even though it's one life, but you prolong for 1,000 years, you achieve enlightenment. So like that. So therefore there's need of practicing Mahayana Tantra, Mahanuttara Tantra. So it is a greatest skill of method, wisdom as well. So because of that, then because of you are able to achieve full enlightenment in a brief lifetime of definite time. Not just one life, but brief within a certain few number of years. You achieve a brief lifetime of degenerated time. So like that. So it happened on this earth. It happened many, like Java and Sabbath, many others. I think maybe Japan, they were trying to fight this Lama, Pema Sambhava. I'm not sure, something like that. Yeah, quick anyway. So anyway, then you can, then there's a Kasuri. So that. So without depending on 3 countless degree eons, and the best one in the brief lifetime of days and time, you want correct practice, then definitely you become enlightened. And the middle one Midron is in the intermediate stage. Even you don't become enlightened within this life, but in the intermediate stage, you become enlightened. So Lama Tsongkhapa could be enlightened this year, this life, but he chose especially to be enlightened in the intermediate stage. Because he wants to be example of the teaching Buddha, Vinaya teaching there to last long time, and to spread to last long time. So therefore, even though he could have enlightened within this life, but he chose to be enlightened in the part of intermediate stage. So at least you become enlightened in 16 lifetimes. So